But the problem I have with this is it's unnecessary. All of that is unnecessary. And obviously, I'm going to explain why I believe that and prove it as I go through. Okay? So this is why this is unnecessary. All right? Because my slide is frozen. That's why it's unnecessary. Okay, let's see here. Okay, there we go. This is why it's unnecessary. This creates a play-by-ear nightmare. A play-by-ear nightmare. I'm like, when I found out this is what they were teaching, I'm like, no wonder people struggle at playing by ear. How long is that going to take to develop your ear if you have to figure out, okay, well, the tonic in this situation sounds like this, the tonic in this situation sounds like this, the submediate sounds like here, the dominant sounds like this here. That's why I'm like, that's a nightmare. If I have to think about all of that, you better be gifted to be able to do all of that. If you have to think that way, okay? That is a lot of work. So the question is, to me, is a minor key a hoax? Well, here's the deal. What's a definition of a minor key? Well, here's one definition. It's something that's accepted. So here's the deal. That theory, right, was an accepted theory, or it's established by fraud or fabrication. Now, I don't know the origin of it fully. However, and I wouldn't go as far as to say they're a fraud, but I do believe it's more of a Loch Ness monster type of teaching, meaning somebody passed it on to somebody which has been passed on, but it's been accepted. So the theory, which hasn't graduated from theory to facts yet, have stayed over these centuries because people didn't really look at like to understand how the language works. Now, all of those great composers like the Bachs and the Beethovens, they know what I'm about to share with you. They know this. That's why they play it at such an easier level. Okay, so is it a hoax? My answer would be yes, it is a hoax. If you're going to hold on to the minor key thought that there are minor keys, you're going to have a hard time playing advanced piano by ear, right? So let's fix this by establishing some musical facts. Now, if you want to take notes, you can take notes here. Here's a musical fact for you, according to the NEQ music system or according to Robert. It's simply this. There are only 12 keys, and they are only major. I'll say that again so that it can sink in. So even if you don't believe me, just try follow with what I'm saying. I say that there are only 12 keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? So let me put it like this, okay? Not that. Okay, I'll leave those on there. But as you can see, there's 7 white ones, right? 7, 6, 7, and then 5 black ones. All right. So some people say, well, Robert, you have to talk about string instruments, horn instruments, and all of inharmonic equivalents and all of those things. Well, I have another teaching on inharmonic equivalents. But let's say I was right that there are only 12 keys, looks just like what I just showed you on the piano right now. But let's assume that all of those 12 keys were only major keys. So let's just assume, or let's go with me that I'm saying that there are only 12 keys. There are no such thing as a minor key. That's a hoax, all right? So let's say that was the case. So let's look over here, okay? So now remember with the minor key thought, we can have a C minor, then a D diminished, right? Then an E flat major, which is a flat 3, and then an F minor, which is a 4 minor, then a 5, which is a 5 minor, in this case as a natural minor, then the 6, which is, you have to remember that it's a flat 6 major, and then the 7, which you have to remember it's a flat 7 major because we're dealing with the minor major. I'm like, oh, that's why it's making it complex. So let's look at it for the sake that it is. Let's say we were in the key of E flat, okay? And as you can see, in the key of E flat, what is the 1 in the key of E flat? Well, let's take a look at it. Let's go over to the piano. All right, I kind of jumped ahead on my slide there. But if we were in the key of E flat would be 1. F would be 2, right? G would be 3, right? For those of you that know the scale. A flat would be 4, right? B flat would be 5. C would be what? It would be 6. 7 would be D. And then it goes back to the 1. So in red, that's the E flat major scale. Okay, so if you can look closely, now this is, let me put it as a natural minor, right? So I take the B and I put it there. If you look closely, what do you see? You can see that the red is in sync with what you have here. All right, so the F, where did I miss? How did I miss the F? Oh, it was covering it. Okay, all right. So as you can see, if you look closely, so the C and the D, you can see that is down here. So you can see that it's actually synced. So what am I trying to say here, right? So if you see that the 1 is major, and in a lot of times they would use the big Roman numeral to represent a major chord. As you can see in this case, the 3, which is a flat 3, if it was a minor key, is really just the 1 in the key of E flat, right? The C minor, it says it's a 1 minor, it's really just the relative minor, which is a 6, as a minor of that, okay? Right? You can see the D, which is supposed to be the minor, in the minor key, it's supposed to be the 2 diminished, it's automatically the 7 diminished here, right? There's no, you don't have to guess, right? You can see the F minor, it says it's a 4 minor, but really it's just a 2. Right? You can say it's the 5 in the minor key, it's a 5 minor. Well, it's really just a 3, right? So you don't have to memorize that the 5 minor is going to be the 5 is going to be a minor in the minor key, and then the 6, I have to remember that it's a flat 6. You don't have to do that because that's simply just a 3 and a 4 in the key of E flat. And the reason why this, you don't have to remember that the 7 is flat 7, it's just the 5, okay? So all it is, it's the exact same scale, just starting from a different spot, okay? So that's why I say you don't really have to think of a minor key, right? It's just a major key, okay? Now let me tell you why that's significant.